It's another Victory Monday here on CHGO. Get used to it. Well, maybe not. The schedule does get harder. But right now, we are living in the moment. Good snowy Victory Monday in Chicago. Lots to talk about today, including should another rookie get more and more snaps, start taking this offense to a higher level. It all starts right now, CHGO Bears. CHGO Bears podcast for the 6-3 Chicago Bears. We are proudly presented by our friends at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code CHGO365 when you sign up, whatever the moment. It is never ordinary at Bet365, and it is never ordinary when the Bears are 6-3 in year one of Ben Johnson, in year two of Caleb Williams, in year 28 of Adam Hoge covering this team, and the Hall of Famer to be Lance Briggs, just celebrating an outstanding start to the season as we brace for a division matchup and the fun of the challenge of the rest of the schedule. Good to see you guys. Happy Monday. You know, I'd just like to point out that I did not start covering the Bears when I was 11, but you did in your mind, though. You did in your mind.
Well, in my mind, nice.
I was dreaming of it, but I just want people, I know I look old, but I'm not that old. Yeah, somebody yelled at me on Twitter last night. I made a Dicker Doink tweet comment because Dicker the kicker doinked it off the upright. I thought it was funny. Someone said, "You're 40. You can't make that joke anymore." I said, "I'm 39, damn it. I got 5 more months to make that joke."
Well, and, Lance over here right now is busting out his notebook from 5th grade. So they're like,
it's good to make notes, guys. Can you make notes?
Can you zoom in on that binder? That I look at that thing. That's like Arizona level.
This is just a good old-fashioned, notebook right here. College lined,
Gotta go college.
Gotta go college, right?
Yeah, wide rule is
wiring.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
It's annoying, right?
It drives me crazy.
Can't get with it.
Do you still have your notebooks from when you were a player?
Some.
Some?
I have some stuff just so I can go back and, it helps me with coaching now and some of the fundamentals that we had instilled and all that good stuff. Even some of our grade sheets. So I told some of our guys, I told them that I had one game where I had 36 loaves. All right. No one's ever had that many loaves on our team ever.
Possible?
All right, but I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it's possible, okay? Why it's possible. So I got hurt the first week of training camp. And I wasn't allowed to practice until the first week, and we played Atlanta, and I wasn't allowed to practice until Friday, of the game week. So I go out, we play Atlanta, I have 36 loaves, right? We win. Bob Babbage is pissed. He's like, you had 36 loaves, right? So I'm like, listen, I haven't practiced. I haven't been able to run or do any of that stuff. Next week, I have 26 loaves.
Hey, it's huge improvement.
He didn't see that. So he's like, you had 26 loaves. I was like, it's 10 better than last week. Yeah. All right. And it gradually went down, but that's how hard, and I go back to a lot of those sheets and refer back. So when I'm grading some of the young guys now and they're like, "Oh, you're too hard on this." I was like, "Listen, I once had 36 loaves."
Yeah.
There you go.
And then I improved by 10, and nobody else on the team improved by 10 from that.
Nobody else improved by 10.
Exactly right.
That's a great point. You were the most improved player that week.
Damn right.
Last week I fell asleep 5 times. This week I only fell asleep 3 times in the office. Think about that. Two-time improvement. Hoge.
That's true. And you learned the week before the game was never over. You thought it was over.
That's true.
And then yesterday you knew it wasn't over, and then the Bears came back.
Last year I thought the Hail Mary was over against the Commanders.
You're learning.
I'm getting better. All right, we're starting the show out with some Luther Burden talk here. And so I went back and watched the game, and I was going through all the drops. And it is true that Olamide Zaccheaus did not have a good game yesterday. That is official after my rewatch.
Not the only one.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. And he had his worst drop. Actually, I thought there was two really bad ones. One of them came on the final drive, or the second to final drive, which the Bears ended up scoring on. So it didn't cost them a ton. But Luther, I think more so than Olamide, I would just take Olamide almost out of the equation, which is a little bit weird to do. But it's more so the talent that they have in Luther coming along here. Now, I don't know if he's quite ready and understands the offense fully. That'd be a good question for Ben this week. Maybe Luther himself, and maybe a Declan Doyle as well. But I don't know, where are you at on this, Ho? Are you ready to elevate the Luther as we look at ways that the Bears can get better in the second half of the season?
Well, I look at it more like this. I was ready going into this game knowing he was coming back from the concussion. Like, hey, man, it's time to get this very talented player more involved in your offense. So I look at it more of like, it's unfortunate OZ had a tough game, but I'm kind of more glass half full in that they already kind of did this in this game, that they did get him more involved. Second play of the game, they throw it to Luther Burden. If I had asked you guys right now off the top of your head, if you had to guess what percentage of the snaps Luther Burden played in this game, what would you guess?
Well, I did look at the Kevin Fishbain snap counts, but I don't remember exactly.
We need to have a discussion about that. Just because Kevin Fishbain posts the screenshot the NFL puts out every week doesn't mean they're Kevin Fishbain snap counts.
No, they're Fishbain.
He doesn't track.
He's the one that puts them out every week. Nobody else does it.
Okay.
I mean,
by the way, I'm kidding for all the people. Kevin's my buddy. I'm just giving him a hard time.
No, Kevin deserves flack like everybody else, even though he's the greatest guy in the history of media and, maybe the most likable dude ever.
He's all happy this morning because this guy, Mike Kafka, is the head coach of the New York Giants now, which we'll get to in a second as well.
Yeah, the Giants fired Brian Daboll.
But anyway.
The Bears fired a coach. Amazing accomplishment. Way to go, Bears.
What about what happened to in Johnson, in Ben we trust, we must trust?
Yeah.
If we've all looked at Luther and said, man, the talent, why isn't he on the field? Why isn't he on the field? Why isn't he getting more snaps? Why isn't he getting this? Why isn't he getting that? It might be because, and I'm sure Ben is saying the exact same thing. Why would I hold back a player that I know is probably our second or third best wide receiver right now? There has to be a reason. Okay.
So there's a Hall of Famer to be leaning into the seasoned knowledge of a coach that you respect, and I appreciate that angle.
Well, it's true. They've had to bring this guy along slowly. Mm-hmm. It's a complicated system. He's a rookie.
It wasn't that long ago that he was being pulled out of practice in training camp because he didn't know where the hell to line up, and they probably weren't giving him the whole playbook at that time.
But I was encouraged by even within training camp, you could see them load him up a little bit more and more slowly. And so the point is I'm not surprised that it's taken halfway through the season to get him more involved in the offense. It's awesome, though, that they sign a guy in Olamide Zaccheaus for $1.5 million to buy the time, which, by the way, they did that before they even drafted Luther Burden. Luther Burden played 49% of the snaps yesterday, to answer the question from earlier. So half the game. That's a good improvement. Good. That's showing that he is not only picking things up, but then he's going out there and performing. So I think we'll continue to see a gradual, snap counts added on to that.
Yeah. I'll give you an angle that perhaps might slightly move you in the positive Burden way.
All right, show me your angles.
Okay, here's my angle. My angle is this. DJ Moore and Caleb, they've never really hit that stride that you would like them to hit. DJ's also pretty banged up at this point. It's, you were kind of looking for a playmaker on the outside right now. And so the option, the fact that the DJ's where he's at and Olamide's kind of wobbly, maybe it does elevate the Burden perhaps in a Ben Johnson mind this week.
Outside, Luther certainly made his catches when they were thrown to him. The tight ends made the catches when they were thrown to him. The rest of the receivers have drops during the game. There was a play where Caleb threw a laser beam at DJ, and he's probably 6 yards away from him, and didn't react fast enough, bounced right off.
Are you talking about the third play of the game?
It was like a screen, like a bubble screen.
Yeah. When Burns, it looked like maybe touched it, maybe didn't.
Yeah, but so that was okay. And I didn't count in my rewatch. I actually didn't count that as a drop because he's 3 feet from him, fires it at him. There's another hand right in there. That's a very hard catch.
I mean, Carm.
He's an NFL player,
right? I mean, listen, if the bus Jerome Bettis runs at me and I get run over, and
different.
you're like, well, it's the bus, it's no. There's no excuse for that. All right. There's no excuse for that. Okay. They're paid to do that job specifically to catch the ball. So what I'm saying is outside of those players, all of our receivers had drops during the game. So if you're looking for that guy, whoever it is, everybody had something negative as far as when it came to catching the ball.
Yeah. Okay. And look, I'm not trying to run DJ down or any,
Because you gave, okay, let's go to Rome. Rome had drops.
He did.
You know what I mean? You go to Zaccheaus. He had drops. DJ had drops. And, at the end of the game, Caleb took it on himself and said, to hell with that. I'm running this thing in.
Well, okay. And let's move on to another ways that they can use Luther in a second here. But do you think, make a prediction, do you think that Luther's snap count goes up this week to next week? And by the way, what was the snap count that on Fishbane snaps?
It was 49%
40,
for Luther Burden, and I don't have OZs in front of me, but I think it was like 58% or something like that. So, but the point is that gap is closing. But here's the simple, more black and white answer to why you can't just snap your fingers and say, all right, Luther Burden's taking over for Olamide Zaccheaus. OZ is out there because what people, the casual fan might not realize, all three wide receiver positions are different positions. You have to learn each position. The reason why they love OZ is because he knows all three positions. He knows every spot. The coaches were talking about this in the preseason to us when we get a chance to talk to the assistants on the side. Like, OZ plays the F. He knows every spot, though, on the field. I can just guarantee it, and it's no knock on Burden. He doesn't know the offense like that where he can go out there and play every single spot.
That has to be the case because he's too talented.
Yeah.
That has to be the case. Other than that, there's something personal, but he was drafted too high.
But if they say, hey, look, we're going to teach you this role, and each week you're going to know it better, you're going to slowly chip into that snap count and be on the field. That's what we're seeing. So just everybody needs to be a little bit more patient, but I think even by a month from now, I think you are going to continue to see more of Luther Burden.
The bigger question mark for me is how come he doesn't get more snaps at punt return?
I'm with you, man. I've been screaming since August on this.
Because there's, that's very simple. You go back, you catch the ball, we're going to punt right, punt left, punt middle, whatever it is that we're dealing with, you just got to catch the ball and go.
So Hoge's going to be out there this week, and when Richard Hightower is up there, how would you advise Hoge to ask the question to Richard? Have you considered putting Luther Burden back there to actually get Richard Hightower to maybe let you in on the way he's thinking about this?
I think that's a very respectful and constructive way of asking right there. Yeah. Okay. I don't think that offends, and it should offend the special teams coach.
Will you ask that question?
Yeah. If I get the whiteboard segment done fast enough to get there, yeah.
Okay.
I will do that.
Okay. Real fast, just because we're wrapping up the other side of it. There were 68 offensive snaps yesterday. Rome was out there for 53. That's the most of any wide receiver. Okay, so Rome came in at 78% of the plays. The next highest receiver was DJ Moore with 42 snaps, which is 62%. Then it's Olamide Zaccheaus with 39, which is 57%, and then Luther's at 33 with 49%. Excuse me. Yeah. So he had the least of the lot, but not by a ton. 6 less than Olamide. So we're not really talking about a huge
closing
difference.
the gap. The other thing I know is Loveland and Komet played almost the exact same amount of snaps.
Yeah, slightly more for Cole.
Here's the thing, and Briggs said this during the game yesterday when this came up about Luther Burden doing more on punt. You said he must not be catching them in practice or something like that, and maybe that is the case. We can't see it.
Right?
Yeah, when we could see it in August when we were allowed to be at all the practices, and I made this observation a number of times when we are doing those shows. I thought of all the returners, including Duvernay, who's been doing this for a while, that he was the most natural at catching the punts. Punt catching is very different than kickoff catching because you have live bullets coming at you, the ball's coming in differently, the way it spins off the punter's foot, the way it dips, and it'll come down faster. Like there's all these little intricacies to it. So to me, a lot of times I just want to look at it and be like, well, how natural does this look? How easy do you make it look? Or are you fighting the ball, like almost like an infielder might be fighting a ground ball coming at them? They just don't look comfortable at it. I thought Burden looked incredibly natural at catching those punts now, but maybe that changed. We have no idea. Maybe he's struggling with it in practice now, and that's why they haven't made that move.
Well, and it'll be interesting to see what you get out of Richard Hightower this week, because I'd love to see him back there too.
Well, Hightower seems to be a guy, and I think a lot of coaches are like this, and it's not a knock at all, because trust between the coach and a player is so big. But Hightower definitely does seem to have like his core guys of 5 every single year that he just trusts a lot. And I think Duvernay is one of those guys. He trusts him to catch the ball, which whether it's kick or punt returns is insanely important. You have to catch the ball first or the rest of it doesn't matter.
I've been watching Duvernay all season waiting for, he was a former first-team All-Pro at returner. Yeah. I haven't seen that. I've seen one, what I'll call an explosive return, and it was called back due to penalty. Not his fault, obviously. I need more. Right now, he looks like a replacement-level returner out there for the Bears.
And get him somebody to push him. Give him somebody to get him out there to let him not be so comfortable out there and say, hey, I'm the guy.
I'm
the guy. I'm not going to be moved. I'm not going to be put. Like, get somebody out there that can possibly go out and say, whoa, I need to pick it up in my returns.
So you're saying, hey, like next week, we're gonna give you a shot to return one here, Luther. Let's see what you do. Or is that just in practice?
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. It's like, listen, Luther, we're going to put you out there to see what you can do. If you go out there, you fumble it, you do something less than what we've been getting every week. We have a guy we can put in and that can do that. We're putting you in to see if we can do something different than what we get every week.
If you're concerned that he might try to do too much and fumble it, would you still put him? Would you put him in when the game's in early in the game?
You put him in early. You put him in early.
Okay.
Put him in early.
Okay.
Put him in early.
All right, just making sure.
Look, we're all coming from this we all saw the GOAT Devin Hester do this. You played with them, and like the return basically disappeared in football for a while because people just stopped doing it. Now the kick returns back. I'm itching to see a threat back there. And so you got to weigh risk and reward. So I get it. Duvernay's catching the ball. He's reliable. But I think it's completely fair for fans and media and whoever, is watching these games to be like, yeah, but if you have a guy like Luther Burden and everybody wants to see him have the ball more, let's see him do it. Now, on the other hand, he did have a concussion like 2 weeks ago. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
Good point, but great bounce back for him. And, people might forget that at one point Luther was holding out. We were wondering what was going on. And then finally the Bears just said, okay, fine, we'll give you the 4 years guaranteed. And then he had to learn things through training camp, and it didn't look great. He was wearing his pink cleats out there, and I'm like, this guy, he's shining with the outfit, but he's not shining on the field. Then all of a sudden he started to shine on the field. Now he's making a huge play yesterday in the fourth quarter. Shout out Luther Burden. To celebrate him, we will bring back at some point today one of my great tunes because we honored him in the moment.
Yeah, when you guys saw Carm looking down at his phone, he was sending me an Instagram reel from his personal
Remember
Instagram.
when I did the Burden song?
I don't actually.
See, it's going to be great. Steven, you'll have that ready for the overtime. Briggs, you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
He's going to hate it.
He's going to love it. He's going to love it. All right.
It's bad that I don't even remember it. It couldn't have been good then.
It was so good. That's why you didn't remember it.
Or maybe it's a good thing because I usually remember just the god-awful ones.
Yeah. Ooh. Hey, we're giving some shout-outs, some love next to a couple of guys who played huge yesterday. I think one, you probably know who we're talking about, but two, you might not necessarily know which way we're going. So we're doing that in a second. But first,
whatever the sport, the app to bet, you know it. It's Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports, the sports betting the way it should be. Circa Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Already discussing that Bears-Vikings line.
I'm blasting the Bears on Circa 2.5 points I'm getting. Give me those 2.5. Let's go.
Let's go. Bet on all your favorite teams.
I actually might take the Vikings.
Oh, come on. Isn't it nice though that we're talking about
tough call? Let's be honest.
We're talking about this on Monday, the next game, instead of spending 5 days breaking down horrible losses. This is different.
This is great.
Yeah.
That's why Circa, love you.
Yeah, spreads, props, futures, or in-game. Circa Sports has it all. Fun and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today. Circasports.com. You must be 21 or older. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Thank you, Circa. And thank you to our friends at Four Seasons. When I make my Circa bet, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it from the warmness of my house. You know why? Because I trusted my friends at Four Seasons. That's right. Plumbing emergency, which I had last week.
4 seasons. Unbelievable performance. Electrical emergency. 4 seasons.
You had a plumbing emergency.
I did. And let's not get into it. Save $4,000 on furnaces and comfort systems with 4 seasons of heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. $39 a month for the furnace for $39 a month for furnaces. Furnace AC combo is $57 a month. Both incredible values. 4 seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. It's been serving Chicagoland for over 50 years. They've lasted because they're great. Your local trusted experts are 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit 4seasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That is 4seasonsheatingcooling.com. Shout out 4 Seasons. Shout out you listening. Hit that like button. Let's get those. We'd love to get this thing to 100,000 on the subscriber thing, just, one at a time here. Every little like, every subscribe matters. Monday through Thursday, the show's at 1 o'clock. Hogan Johns. I don't exactly know when those come out, but they're amazing.
Yeah, they're so good.
You had a good one today.
We were live at 9 this morning.
Live at 9 this morning, baby.
Usually around noon, though.
Yeah,
and the taped ones.
And then we've got coming up after dark tonight with the amazing Greg Braggs, who's been in the chat a bunch already, who's apparently snowed in Indiana. He's asking for help. Nobody give him any help. That'd be a bad idea. Make him earn his way out. I shoveled my driveway today. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, Hogue. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Why? The sun had mine. We had 4 inches of snow, and the sun took care of it by the time I left.
I didn't want to even. I wanted when the amazing Jackie Bernfeld pulled out of the driveway. I didn't want any snow to touch the tires on her car. I just wanted it to be perfect for her to enter the street.
It's awesome.
See?
It's awesome.
And
I
I
look forward to that, huh?
Sounds like somebody in the doghouse.
Yeah. Right. Well, good read. All right.
Hey, before we get to, can we bring up the news real quick and just discuss the Brian Daboll thing?
Yeah.
So the Giants went ahead and did it. They fired Brian Daboll this morning after the Bears' comeback victory.
Flus part 2. Very flusy.
Do you think this happens if the injuries to a lot of their key players happen?
I'm a little surprised they did this in season just because I know they've lost a lot of bad games. I think
they look better.
That's the 4th game I think that they've lost in the 4th quarter. They've blown a lead. So I get it, and that decision on 4th down was a very questionable one that we can get into. But they do have a first-round quarterback who's looked pretty good, and he's the offensive guy. And Malik Neighbors is out and Cam Scattaboo, and things were looking good when he was in there.
They look solid.
Yeah.
They look solid. It's interesting because the culture for the New York Giants looked like it was the culture that you want. It looked like it was becoming a fighting, winning type of culture. And even through the losses, they were very competitive, and they look like a team. We're like, whoa, they look legit in those first 3-4 weeks of the season.
And, they beat the Eagles, too. Apparently, Joe Shane is keeping his job, is going to lead the coaching search now, the GM there. So it's an interesting situation. I will say, though, if we were doing this show in New York yesterday, like the Giants version of the show, I mean, we would have been all over Daboll for that 4th down decision. In hindsight, not even hindsight, I mean, the rule these days with the analytics and all this stuff, when you're at the 1-yard line, to me, you always go for it, with some rare exceptions with the scoreboard, and if you're going up 2 scores, which in this case you were going up 2 scores. But anytime you're at the 1, even if you don't get it, you're pinning them back. They
have 99 yards to go or 100 yards to go.
And most likely
they gave up 35 yards as it turned out, which doesn't really matter. But on average, you're giving up about 33 yards on that play, right?
Right. And I don't know what the numbers are off the top of my head, obviously, but it sure feels like more times than not you force a punt after you pin them back, and you end up getting the ball back at midfield anyways.
Good field position, right? You're playing a field position guy.
So I think it was somewhat defensible, but after they get the penalty, and now you're at the half-yard line.
It shouldn't have mattered. They should have gone for it on 4th and 1. They should have gone for it on 4th and a half.
Yeah.
It was not a good job. You're 2-7. You have nothing to lose. What are you doing? But that all being said, if I was John Mara, the Giants owner, or Joe Shane or whoever, is Brian Daboll your coach next year?
Yes or no? What's the answer on that? You should not need the rest of the year to figure that out. They started out great his first year. They've been nothing ever since, 2-7 to start every other season. Are you bringing him back? If you're not, do you trust Mike Kafka to go in there? I mean, end of the day,
system. I just thought this was a system right now that fit the players that were in it, and now you're going to bring somebody else in. Who knows? That obviously the players are going to have to fit into whatever system that the new coach comes and brings in. But it looked like give this team another year and they're going to win for you.
Well, and look, that's a 25th overall, first round quarterback who's off to an incredible start. He's obviously doing something right, not to be Johnny Bryan Daboll defense, but that's really all that matters for their future. And the guy looks pretty damn good. So
what I said in that moment when they decided to decline the penalty, keep the field goal, was that told me exactly how much Brian Daboll trusted Russell Wilson. And then, you watch the rest of that game, and I get it. He didn't look good. He had bad decision-making. He has to get rid of the ball. That sack that C.J. Gardner-Johnson got, yeah, I know they pretty much rushed everyone on that, but you got to get rid of the ball, man. And instead, Bears get that sack, get the pump block, and the rest is history.
I also do think for Daboll, I mean, some guys are just better as you're a coordinator. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, and that might
There's
be
nothing
true.
wrong with that.
And I'm excited for Mike Kafka to get his opportunity. St. Rita guy, Northwestern guy, and you know what? He probably deserves a lot of credit for Jackson Dart's success too. So maybe he'll get a good opportunity here to show. He's been a head coaching candidate before. The Bears interviewed him.
Yeah, the Daboll look too, like. If you're winning, you can go grizzled kind of. Daboll hasn't.
He just looked cold yesterday.
Like if you win, you could be the grizzled guy who hasn't showered in like 3 weeks. But if you're losing, you got to clean it up, Briggs.
What does that matter?
That
doesn't matter.
You are representing the New York.
Matter.
You're representing the New York.
I'm just glad we don't have to go back to like everybody needs to look like Tom Landry. With the top hat, and the suit, the tie, suit and tie,
right,
because there was a time there. If we were on this podcast back in the 70s,
yeah,
you'd be saying that about the coaches. I mean, come on, guys.
No,
if you're winning, you can wear the jumpsuit, you can wear the joggers, but when you're losing, you need to be with a top hat and a scoot and tie right now.
Yeah. I don't even say that though. I'm saying in today's world, you need to at least look like you've showered in a week, and put on a solid jumpsuit. Look at our guy Ben Johnson on the sidelines. He's winning and he looks good. Look at that guy.
There's nothing you can do wrong right now.
No. I was a little.
What was it like doing podcasts in the 70s?
Let me tell you something. When I was
small crowd.
When I was in what they called the closet at the Score back in the day, doing editing on the reel-to-reel, you never edited on a reel-to-reel, did you?
Not reel-to-reel.
Yeah, you never did that with the chalk and the razor and the whatnot. Rick Geezer up my ass to get it done quickly, but I'm like, do you think you have any idea what I'm doing here? I barely got out of the University of Iowa, but I figured it out, Keys. That's right, Hoge. I'm an underrated editor.
Shout out to Rick Geezer.
Shout out to Rick Geezer. And old hats, radio hats who know that name. All right. Hey, props to Darnell Wright. This dude has turned his season around. It looked wonky at the start. I don't know if it all falls down to when they put Ozzie Trapillo in over there at right tackle or whatever it was, but he is playing a physical brand of football. If you go back and watch it, Darnell Wright had a hell of a football game yesterday. So did Jonah.
He had a great choke slam on Brian Burns.
Oh man,
he denied the spin.
Get off me!
Get off! Yeah, not here. He gave him the Mutombo. Not today. Not today.
There was another one on a run play that didn't really go anywhere, but a safety tried to blitz and he just tossed him out the club. He was just like, nope, go away. It's always a good thing when you're putting out highlights every week of your tackles.
Pancakes.
When your tackles
you're dominating,
when they're showing highlights of your tackles,
that
means that you are making progress. You are having a great season. That's the type of stuff to get you all pro nods.
Yep.
I don't know if Darnell Wright can, crack the all-pro ranks this year with all the, good talent that's out there. Maybe second team at best, but I think Pro Bowl's on the table, and he certainly deserves some honors.
A lot of issues, penalties. up until, I mean, it's not over because one of the false start penalties was still on him, but a lot of that stuff early on in the season. So I think that affects some of that grading, especially for the All-Pro.
Yeah, we looked that up pre-show. He was 4th, right, Steven? We looked
he was tied for 4th in the NFL among tackles and penalties,
with 7.
Yeah,
which is still too many.
It's going to hold you back.
Well, he had a false start yesterday too.
Yep.
What about his athleticism? He took a tumble. All right, and not only did he not miss a beat on the tumble, he came right back to his feet looking for somebody to block.
It's good.
And
he missed his block,
but
he was looking for somebody to block.
Last week he did a cartwheel when they won the game. He was doing flipping cartwheels. Who was that dude again? I asked you last week. Who was the dude that did the jump and tore his ACL back in the day?
Oh, come on. You don't have to Lamar Houston. Darnell Wright.
I remember I was on the sideline.
Getting killed.
This idiot. What are you doing?
That was like, dude, did he ever make a play when you were on the team? I don't think he did.
Well, he made that play.
He got Jimmy Garoppolo down 40.
Yeah. And he got
wasn't
Karma.
even Brady.
I mean, Karma quick kicked in so fast. Good Lord.
Yeah, but Darnell's playing so well that it takes you to the conversation that we don't need to have right now, but I'll throw it in there anyway because I'm irresponsible. You do wonder what this looks like after the season. Would they, if he actually is dominating on the right side, would they trust him? Hey man, you've got this down. We don't really have our left tackle figured out. We want to think about putting you there as our anchor on the other side. I'm assuming that they wouldn't rob Peter to play Paul. I love when Briggs gets pissed at me. It's the best.
I don't know why you keep doing this.
Because they don't have
he's so good. Why don't we move him to the left side? No. He's always been a right tackle. He's been dominant at right tackle. We drafted him to be a right tackle, so let's let him continue to be dominant at right tackle and find the doggone left tackle and not draft a left tackle whose all of his highlights are all at the right tackle position. How about that?
And that's very fair but that's exactly what the Bears did. They was like, well, let's get that right tackle, put him at left tackle, and Ozzie.
I'm watching, and I'm sure we're all watching. I know I'm watching, and I'm like, well, that's one at right tackle. Okay, there's another one at right tackle. Okay, yeah, all of these are at right tackle.
Would you like to agree with him, or do you want to take Carm's side on this one? Not even at side, just ravel it up here.
I'm not gonna take any side. But I think the question is fair because I'm worried that they're gonna try to mess with it because of what they did, which was draft another right tackle who can't play left. And out of those two guys, who's more likely to be able to play left? The good one. So, I mean, I don't think that storyline's going away anytime soon. But I also agree with what Briggs is saying. If you have a guy who's just that good at right tackle, can you just keep him there and let him dominate?
There, right.
That's why Hoge's sitting in the middle, though. Did you see how he just did that? He just made everybody happy. I feel validated.
You feel validated. Oh, wow.
Well, everybody's happy except Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
Ryan Poles should be thrilled.
Well, he doesn't have a – well, actually, let's back up a little, though.
If you run the numbers.
Yeah.
If you run the numbers, yeah, you're right.
I still like Theo Benedette, though.
I'm not trying to bury the Benedette for the record. No burying of Benedette over here.
Where's Ozzie? What happened to Ozzie? Where's this guy?
He's 7 snaps yesterday.
BC guy.
He's cute. He's got a cute smile.
That's the worst way to describe a football player.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's some nastiness there.
That's a good point. If it says in the scouting report he's cute.
Great guy. Wonderful person.
Well,
actually, when you think about offensive defensive lineman, you want to hear, hey, he's got a mean disposition. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You don't want to say he's cute. This guy's a handsome fella. He looks so jolly.
Well, that's the thing. Benedict is not cute. That dude is
jolly.
He is the opposite of cute.
Listen,
I mean, he's got a good look to him too.
Is from within.
Yeah.
Okay?
What in the hell is happening right now?
The beauty of Benedict is from within.
He looks like a football player. He's got a
Right.
taped up nose.
Yeah.
He's grinding.
Yes. He's got a mother, okay? She loves him.
That's right.
Carm's going to add an event to the combine where he just grades at each player's cuteness. This guy.
Cuteness factor.
I would do.
If you have a high cuteness factor, less likely to be drafted in the first round. It's not bad. I like that. All right.
We really need Briggs' grades to save us today.
Briggs' grades. There's a lot of Caleb conversation coming up too. There's a plenty, lot to enjoy here on the 6-3 Chicago Bears. So let's do all that. Let's get to Briggs' grades in a second, but first. Hey, shout out to our friends at Eye on the Ball. I am talking to you, the young athlete right now, and or you, the parent of the young athlete, or the uncle, or the cousin, or somebody who wants to support the young athlete, like the amazing Carman did with Grace Carman, who's now dominating at Brandeis. Do you think she would have been there without Eye on the Ball? No, she wouldn't have. Athletes, here's what you do. You want to upgrade. You want to get better at soccer. You want to get better at swimming. You want to get better at baseball. You want to get better at basketball. James Hoge's out there competing. You need the right coach, and you need to find that right coach at Eye on the Ball. Jump in today, eyeontheball.net. That is eyeontheball.net. You find your coach. You take your game to the next level. Doesn't matter, by the way, you're starting out almost at the top. Whatever the competition level is, you want to rise it up. They've got somebody for you. eyeontheball.net.
What if you're a 50-year-old tennis player who still needs help?
Huge match tomorrow, and this should not be mentioned here, so I'll mention it later. But the fact that they've already marked me down as a loss means that I need eyeontheball.net at
wow,
52.
you're forfeiting before you even play. All
Tuesday,
right.
play Carm. Wednesday, you're in the semifinals. It's on the schedule. It's unbelievable.
We are definitely not doing that to the Bulls tonight against Wembanyama. Bulls season on Chicago Sports Network. Blackhawks as well. Visit chsn.com/podcast to sign up for your 7-day free trial of the All Access plan, which gives you over 300 live games per year. You can catch every basket and every one of Connor Bedard's goals on your mobile device, television, or wherever you want to watch. CHSN is your home for Blackhawks and Bulls all season long. Chicago Sports Network, your home stream advantage. See what they did there, Carm?
Home stream.
You can catch CHSN on Xfinity, DirecTV Stream. That's where I get it. And Fubo. Visit chsn.com for more details. Bulls tonight.
Bulls. Let's go Bulls. Drop the last two, Milwaukee and Cleveland. We got the Wemby in town tonight, but CHGO Bulls doing a great job as always. Ask you one question before Briggs' grades. Checking out the line today. 2.5-point favorite, the Minnesota Vikings. Anybody surprised by that line? The Vikings losing yesterday. Of course, they beat the Bears week 1. Bears playing great football, won 6-7. Anybody thought? I was thinking, I wonder if this is a pick'em, but it's Minnesota by 2.5.
Well, I think some of the decision behind the Vikings being favored is strength of opponents.
Yeah.
Bears are on a 2-game win streak. Yes, they look good in times. Yes, there are still things. There are still things that they need. Defensively, we're not stopping much. Without takeaways, it doesn't look. It really changes the outcome of these games. And so with that being said, I think it's legit. I think the line.
Yeah, I think they're trying to figure out exact. Yeah. Do you know how many opponents the Bears have played this year that currently have a winning record?
So, Minnesota's not in there. So Detroit has a winning record.
Mm-hmm.
And is that it?
That's your answer.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's the Detroit Lions. And now that's okay though, because you won all these games. You took care, you're taking care of business against the teams you should beat. The only exception being the Ravens, but because Tyler Huntley was starting. But even then, it's like
the Ravens will have a winning record when it's all said and done, you would think. But
right, exactly. So, but the point is, I think the league and probably Vegas, the lines makers, are trying to still figure out exactly what this Bears team is. Mm-hmm. The Vikings did beat them at Soldier Field in week 1, so I think that's got to factor into it. And also, that's a pretty strong home field advantage the Vikings have. So 2.5, that kind of is like a pick'em.
Right, I've heard some people like just talk, are the Bears good or are they not good? Listen,
they're good. We don't know how good.
In the spirit of Ben Johnson, I'll tell you this: they're better. They are 1,000% better. They have 6 wins on the year to 5 last year. Caleb Williams is better. Rome Odunze is better. Montez Sweat is playing better. So they're definitely better. Are they good?
they're good enough to win 6 games.
Five games away from pretty much locking up a spot in the playoffs.
Right. And you would think even 4, like you go 500, 10 wins, you're probably in. So in the good, better, best thing, they definitely are better. I think they are good. We'll just see what their best is. Right? What best is coming here? Nobody knows.
Already one little break they got is it sounds like Jonathan Kennard is not going to play this coming week because of a shoulder injury he suffered yesterday. So, I mean, that's their
significant.
That's their best pass rusher, and that defense has been good the last couple of weeks. I mean, Brian Flores has had them. They went into Detroit. They won. They held Lamar Jackson to 4 field goals yesterday early in the fourth quarter before it kind of slipped from there. So that makes life easier on Theo Bennett if Jonathan Grenard's not playing.
Yep.
All right. On that note, let's stay in yesterday's game, and let's bring him in. It's the moment you're always waiting for on Monday. The professor is in house. Let's go, Lance Briggs.
Let's rock and roll. Yes, the professor is back. I would put no B+. There's no way. That is the lowest grade I've given this year. Well, fellas, let us get right to work. Hold on a minute. Let me get this foot up here.
Get that notebook out, Professor.
Indeed.
Look at that thing.
Yes, indeed. All right, so the highest grade of the week of this game goes to the offense. Gave a B-, because they put up another they put up a lot of points on rushing and passing. I thought this was one of the best games I've seen Caleb play. I just thought from an accuracy standpoint, being in the pocket, his presence and his magic footwork, evading would-be pass rushers. So I gave him a B-. We still had drops. And we were really bad on third down and fourth down.
The Caleb Houdini act, and he's been doing this his entire career, but yesterday's I give him an A++.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian Burns was in his face multiple times. That's a guy that gets quarterbacks to the ground and somehow, some way, could breathe on him. Yeah. And he somehow got away. That was big time impressive. Now that's of course not something that's going to carry you to the Super Bowl, but it was impressive.
Yep.
I mean, there's a couple screenshots where if you just pause it right at the moment where Caleb looks like he's about to get sacked, you're like, how did this turn into a positive play at all?
Mm-hmm. And they're asking about after, how do you do that? I have no. I mean, if I was him, I have no idea, man. I'm trying to not get killed. That's how I do it.
He has an amazing ability to feel backside pressure, that he shouldn't see. Which is interesting because we're still kind of on him sometimes on getting the ball.
Are you seeing it down here, or are you feeling it, or are you seeing it out of the corner of your eye? And if you're seeing it out of the corner of your eye, are you missing what's right here in front?
Which might be possible.
Yeah. And also just the spin move that he's doing where he kind of leans right and then flips back the other way. I mean, that's a big-time athlete right there.
At the end of so here's the deal. When you see that, when I see it, the first person that comes to mind is Tony Romo. Tony Romo made an absolute career out of it. He made a career out of it, and going in to play Tony Romo, hey, he's going to spin to his right every time. He's going to spin to his right every time. The amount of defensive ends that still get caught when he spins out and he creates more time for his receivers is pretty absurd when you know he's going to do it.
Why do you think that's so hard for a defender?
Because you feel like you're taking the correct angle at him right now, and as soon as you get close to him, you might get a jab step, you might turn out, but the reality is it beats the angle. It's really tricky to come that fast when he spins out and to turn your body and plant your foot and move outside. So you really have to take an outside, an extreme outside angle that he ends up having to step up. Because you're worried if I go too wide, if I go too high up the field, he'll just step inside and run inside.
Right.
So you get caught.
Yeah.
Which we've seen him do that too. He'll climb up in the pocket. And the other thing that makes me just feel good is his toughness,
Yep.
physicality. He doesn't take. I mean, I still get worried when he's scrambling sometimes, but man, I watched Drake May. He took another brutal hit yesterday. He's got to protect himself. Jaden Daniels is already hurt. We saw it with Jackson Dart yesterday. That's the 4th time he's been evaluated for a concussion this season, guys. And this time it was a concussion. So you got to be, you got to be worried about that. And knock on wood, but Caleb has that sort of just physicality built into his body that seems like he can withstand some of the stuff.
Yep, and for whatever reason, I don't exactly know how he did it. He did take one huge shot yesterday on his shoulder. I forget which Giant got him, but it's not the hit you want him taking. But he doesn't really ever get squared up. It's very rare that you see Caleb take that level of hit. He's
understanding angles.
There's some skill going on there too.
All right, defense.
Defense gets a D-, and I think that's actually being kind. All right, gave up 431 yards, 261 passing, 169 rushing, and the amount of games that our defense has given up less than 100 yards it's pretty rare this year. They haven't done it often. More often than not, it's not just 100 yards. It's like 150, and down the stretch, fellas, and against Minnesota, against these tough teams, it's going to kill us. Like that's what's going to set us back the most. Bad on 3rd down, bad on 4th down. We did have one takeaway. Honestly, D- is being very gracious in my opinion.
What do you feel like this defense is missing the most right now?
I mean, there were I'm going to talk about linebacker play. There were plays where I didn't, in my opinion. Now it could be coached this way. There were plays where it was a clear run, and I saw Noah Sewell two gapping. Okay, he's playing one gap play side, and then he falls back when the ball comes back. Okay, your backside backer that's also just outside the box. If you get a play side run, both backers are going to play on both sides of those gaps. They're responsible for three gaps. Two linebackers responsible for 3 gaps. So if you get a running back that plays to the play side, the backside linebacker doesn't need to fall back if he hits the gap right now. It's only the play side linebacker that would fall back if the ball bounces all the way back. So some of the stuff, and then there was a puller. I see Tremaine Edmonds. He runs through. He spills it. Noah Sewell has to come downhill right now. He doesn't get there fast enough, and we get gashed. So I think part of it is about triggering and getting downhill fast enough. I don't. It's hard sometimes. I don't like to comment on other defensive coordinators' defense when I'm not 100% sure. That's what it looks like.
Well, and they've just had a lot of moving parts. TJ's been in the lineup. Right. He's been out of the lineup. Sewell's playing really for the first time in his career. Mm-hmm. I mean, the biggest linebacker success story this year is Tremaine, which you've been shouting out every week.
Yep, man.
And I'm still trying to figure out that one. Like, clearly he's better on the weak side. But I'm also like, Matt Eberflus was supposed to be Johnny defense, yet he didn't figure that out. So I'm like, how is Dennis Allen some genius here, or was Flus just a complete idiot for doing it that way?
No, not at all, not at all. Listen, Tremaine still gets beat down the seam. All right, for as tall as he is, I've still seen him get beat down the seam with a too high. Okay, he's not perfect. However, what he is doing right now is he's putting himself in position better than he has before, and when he gets in position, he's arriving with bad intentions. So he's getting the guys down. He's holding them. He's knocking them back. He's getting them down for little or no yards at all. And then the other big thing about him is his playmaking, big time playmaking. He's taking the ball away a lot, at a great rate right now. So I love what I'm seeing from him, but he's not perfect at all.
Biggs had this note in his piece today. 9 games in, he's got 80 tackles, which is by far the most on the team. 32 more than anybody else, Tremaine. 32 more. That's a big time number. Byard's second, by the way, with 48. 4 picks. That's high as a career high. 8 deflected passes. That's 4 shy of his career best mark, which happened in Buffalo in 2018. Mm-hmm. And so he's on pace for 151 tackles, which would be 30 more than he's ever had in a season. Those are some wild numbers.
Yeah, it is. But what I don't like is I I want to see more double-digit tackle games. I want to see more double-digit tackle games because that's about the effort. It's about the effort. You know, you're going to get linebackers typically going to get probably 6-7 tackles just because the play is funneled to them. So the other tackles you have to be about effort. Have to be about running to the ball every play and just being near the ball. Should always see you a linebacker in the frame of where the ball is.
Which I felt like was an issue on that one long run that Devin Singletary had where Noah Sewell missed the – and I don't know, I'm not saying necessarily it was Tremaine, but it just Noah's not able to make the tackle in the backfield, and then there wasn't the second and third guy rallying to the ball right there to make that play.
You have it's a 4th and 1 situation, and you have a guy that is sprinting. This is a great play by Noah, you know, and yes, we want him to make the play, but what he does is he makes the running back take steps backwards. That is all you could ask for if you're the other 10 players that should be sprinting to the ball. He just backed up. Oh, we have him now. That's what we're asking for. CJ had a wonderful game. This was not one of his better plays because he was jogging to the play. He was the next guy. If everybody's sprinting, when that running back takes steps back to make that hit, and let's say maybe CJ misses him too, 3-4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The next guy comes in, takes a shot. Then the next guy comes in, takes a shot. It never should have been a 40-yard game.
Yeah. Well, before we move off to this, I just want to shout out Noah Sewell. At the goal line, when the Giants ended up kicking the three-pointer, the field goal with when Daboll should have gone for it, which maybe ultimately got him fired, Noah Sewell had a huge tackle down by the goal line. Yep. Brisker had a play down there. Austin Booker had a play down there. A bunch of guys stepped up when they had to, and those were big-time plays. When you think about like the key plays that helped the Bears win the game, those were up there.
Yep.
Special teams.
This one had a saving grace because of the block punt. All right. I really wanted to go a little bit lower, but C-. So many reasons for this to be lower. And again, I like Tory Taylor, our 4th-round punter, has been getting out-punted for weeks now, you know, where the opponent's punter is setting it down inside the 10, while ours, you know, more often than not, it's going into that end zone. So, Hoge, this is your area.
Yeah, Hoge.
No, I mean, it continues to be a little confounding. I don't think Tory Taylor's doing a bad job by any means, but when we watch him repeatedly in training camp the last 2 seasons, seemingly like I have a sand wedge with ridiculous spin on it, where the ball just like hits the 1-2 yard line and it just stops. Mm-hmm. That to me has not carried over to the regular season enough. We're not seeing those. And yesterday he had one where it wasn't even really a pin situation. He's got such a good leg. I think if he angles that to the sideline, you know, you're probably inside the 10-yard line. Instead, he gets it all the way into the end zone. Now, I don't think the conditions were outstanding yesterday to really feel like you have, you know, it's like golf. I mean, you're out there on a windy day. It's not going to be easy to hit the green. But as Briggs was saying earlier in the show, you are in the NFL.
Yep.
You are a punter in the NFL, and this is what you're being paid to do. So I definitely think there's some room for improvement there to really help field position, which it feels like the Bears have been kind of working uphill a little bit this season from the field position standpoint too often. That's why it was such a big play at the end of the game where they shank one out of bounds looking like Greg Braggs, and you get great field position, you take advantage.
That was huge.
Coaching. Fellas, coaching I think gets a C. You know, I think you average out, you know, you wonderful job, I think, for offense, even with a few miscues. Defense is down the stretch is something we're really going to have. That concerns me right now is defense more than anything else. Special teams being a C-. We got a D- and a B-. That averages out, I think, to about a C.
Yeah, it's hard to see our coaching staff getting average grades here because they've really done an unbelievable job in turning this thing around. But if we are just going to go from a very myopic one-game viewpoint, I hear you. I get it.
If you lay your emotions to the side, which I think is probably almost impossible for a Chicago fan. It's not bad. We have things that we want to play for. There's things that we want to coach for. There's grades that we want to reach. And if we hold our coaching, our offense, our defense, our special teams to a high standard, and we reach those standards, we're looking at a championship team.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, the Ben staff this morning, and I do think they have a championship level staff here. Dan Rochar, whatever he's done with the offensive line, that dude has made a big time impact. Darnell Wright is better. Jonah Jackson
a good year.
has gotten better throughout the year. Drew Dahlman, occasional wonky snap, but that's about the only time that I notice him. Joe Tooney, the only time I notice him is when Hoge's talking about he's the greatest Chicago Bear ever. And then Theo Benedette, it's not been perfect with the pass defense or the pass blocking, but that's a guy that came out of nowhere that they've elevated. Yeah. You got to give him huge. Rochar and company deserve huge props there. And then you go around Randall L. That guy's been fantastic with his energy and everything else. Again, Luther Burden, who's moving in a positive direction, all these things. So the staff is, and Dennis is. I guess the defense can be, hasn't been perfect, and you want to get more pressure, but
clutch in the critical situation
and getting takeaways all season long. They won the takeaway battle again yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't realize this. I just looked it up. You mentioned Tremaine Edmonds having 4 interceptions. Do you know who the 2 league leaders are in that category?
Mm-mm.
Tremaine Edmonds and Kevin Byard, both with 4.
Yeah,
that's surprising to me.
Ooh.
Well,
there we go.
I hope the takeaways stay up.
Yes, indeed. We need that.
You're going to be giving up 400 yards per game. You need takeaways.
Yeah. All right. Good job. Good grades. These things just don't come together in a matter of moments. You've been in the lab as you are every single week. We wanted to talk about. We shouted out Darnell Wright, but C.J. Gardner-Johnson for a mid-season pickup, making an impact. Good job, Bears. Good job, Ryan Poles. Good job, Dennis Allen. Whoever was advocating for him to come here.
Yeah.
So we were asking the question: if Kyler Gordon does get healthy and come back, what do you do with a guy who seemingly understands this defense and is making a big impact? And it's who knows? Maybe they don't even win the game yesterday without him. You moving? Are you leaving him there? Are you moving Kyler to
Mark?
Yes, Lance.
This is not even a negotiation.
Okay.
When Kyler's healthy, Kyler goes in. You put Kyler in, and taking nothing away from CJ. In the 2 weeks, he's been a huge playmaker for us. Kyler's been a huge playmaker for us for a lot longer.
Yeah, and I don't know if you had the same feeling as me, but there were at least 2 or 3 times during the game yesterday where I had the thought they miss Kyler Gordon.
Yeah.
So, while C.J. Gardner-Johnson's having such a great game and getting the game ball from the head coach, I'm also simultaneously being like, man, they miss Kyler Gordon at the same time. So, Kyler Gordon goes back to his spot. Dennis Allen gets creative, which he's more than capable of doing, of using C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who has played safety in this league.
Yeah.
He's played outside corner, not a ton, but he has done it in this league. You're still shorthanded there. I would find ways to still get C.J. Gardner-Johnson on the field, but Kyler Gordon needs to be out there.
Absolutely. You might have Kyler on a pitch count. You know what I mean? You're coming back. It's been a while. You're gonna get X amount of snaps. CJ's gonna get X amount of snaps. We want to see how you're going to how you transition in your healing. How are you healing? How are you feeling? But if we look back now, when Kyler Gordon was healthy, you talk about run fits and a guy that plays behind the line of scrimmage. And when we were consistently stopping the run, Kyler Gordon was a part of that equation.
Yeah, and look, who knows if Kyler is going to be able to come back and be healthy. He's been injured significantly now twice this year. Seems to me that he needs like a physical fitness guru. He needs like an Andrew Hiller type, my guy out there, to get him to the next level. Shout out Hiller.
Maybe some of Aaron Rodgers doctors.
Yeah, well, sure, great.
He's got some great doctors.
Maybe, yeah, get him with some Mesopotamia or whatever.
Some peyote.
Whatever. I just made up a word, but that's cool.
Mesopotamia. Pretty sure that was
He needs a ayahuasca.
Historic country.
Man,
What-
Emma said yes.
All right, Emma.
She was,
Get him some Mesopotamia.
or Carm, maybe some rhythm.
Yeah. Or yes, shout out to our friends at Rhythm. That would be a big time move. We had an unbelievable addition to our tailgate yesterday with the Rhythm folks coming out there. I had some delicious sipping going on to add on to my day. I know you did too, Hoge.
I did not. I was.
Oh yeah, you
I
weren't
was
there.
not there.
Yeah,
But
well,
I can.
But you've tried
I
it.
can vouch for you based on the pregame performance yesterday on
Which
the
was strong.
on the show. That yes.
Okay. There it is. It was strong. We got Crystal and Lori and Braggs and the outstanding people from Rhythm. Clean ingredients, only 60 calories. Better buzz without the hangover. It was outstanding. Mandarin orange. It was. That's what I believe that's what I was drinking on yesterday. Be a good decision after the show today.
Now, was that photo before or after Crystal cheated on us by taking a photo with Sylvie?
That was before, and so maybe we should blame Rhythm for her just decision there to go hang out with Sylvie. That would be unfair to Rhythm, though, so we wouldn't do that. I don't know. This Crystal situation is confusing, considering everything we've done for Crystal, including I believe that was a CHGO Bears fan, John, at the tailgate yesterday, who brought her there for free on his seat, which is like you show up at a tailgate and maybe somebody just has an extra ticket. That was amazing. Her and Braggs got to go. What a great guy John is. Who Emma's got some amazing video that I shot with him yesterday that we should probably play at some point. I don't know. Feels like an After Darker. They should play that tonight. Bang. Soleil. Emma's over there, and I'm talking to someone who's not on screen, which is probably not great podcasting. But
never do that.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Okay, Lance gives a thumbs up. All right. Anything else we haven't hit on as we move into overtime here, become a diehard and whatnot?
I think we become diehards and whatnot. We do the super chats and whatnot, and then we
That's it?
move on to Bears After Dark
Really?
and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a lot of notes over here.
According to, right now is a great time to become a diehard. You can use that code JOHNS, JAHNS, $36 for your first year as a diehard. Scan that QR code. You get all of Johnsy's great coverage. He wrote a good column about Caleb Williams. After the game, we got our insider analysis column coming out Wednesday morning, as always. So 20% off all merch and events with your diehard membership. You also get just like a cool diehard card.
Great diehard card.
Cool to show off when you're in Kauai, hanging out with Bears on Kauai, and you're Jonathan Otten, and you got your diehard card.
Jonathan Otten, shout out to him being at the tailgate yesterday, and I shouted out these guys yesterday.
Man,
But let's just do it again. What about Anthony and Dan, who came out yesterday, Briggs? Anthony and Dan from DeKalb, their fourth year coming to the CHGO tailgate.
Yes, loyalty right there.
Father
Love
and sons. Jacob Seitz was out there. The Seitz man, former kicker on the high school level, competed against Tyson Bajan, beat him his freshman year. Shout out Jacob Seitz. Dustin. He's building the Field of Dreams out there in Epworth, Iowa, and his crew of Jana, Josh, and wife Miranda. Scott and Lindenhurst. Dude was rocking the table and just hanging out and living dreams. What about Justin in Kenosha, Hoge? I tried to tell him, like, the Bears should be talking to Kenosha. The Metro goes to Kenosha. Don't you have a dog track in Kenosha? This dude was like, Kenosha sucks. Don't come up here. I'm like, no. The Bears will turn it around. Bears in Wisconsin.
Solid Costco in Pleasant Prairie.
Solid Costco, Pleasant Prairie. Yeah.
That's all I got about.
Yeah.
And I like the Quick Trip in Kenosha. That's all I can pretty much say for Kenosha, though.
Max in Northbrook, Andrew and Michael from Jersey. Good stuff.
Yeah. Crystal is outing Greg Bragg. Says Braggs took that pic of her and Sylvie, which sounds about right.
It's a conundrum. I suppose we can do the super chats then along those lines because
Yes.
Braggs is in the Braggs is super chatting today, but we won't lead off with him because let's trust the people. Dr. Truth, please wish Gary Roth a happy birthday. Is that accurate? Gary, it's your birthday?
It's Gary's birthday. He's probably in the Discord. Or yelling at Greg Bragg. He's our guy, Gary.
Gary, we thank you for your endless
birthday, Gary.
Happy birthday, your endless support, your
Gary,
football knowledge,
Yeah.
your training camp presence, all the things, all the events you come to. Happy birthday, Gary, the man. Back in point, $2. He knows every spot equals perfect backup.
That was in regards to Olamide Zaccheaus.
Olamide Zaccheaus, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Olamide.
perfect. He didn't catch the footballs when they're thrown to him.
Our guy Joe Henschel, who's still
wow.
recovering from his heart event and doing strong.
Yeah, I talked to Joe maybe a couple of weeks ago. He's starting to go on longer walks. He's in recovery, and they're gonna find out what happened and what led to this. But he's on a positive road to recovery right now.
Best of luck to you, Joe.
And he said, man, this new defibrillator of mine has been tested every week, but we're winning, baby.
Damn right.
You got to get the right care in life.
Damn right, brother.
That makes me feel a little.
A lot of that, hey man. A lot of that in my family.
Oh, is that right?
Absolutely.
Hey.
I understand it.
And Bragg's in the stands.
Best to you, Joe.
$5. Let me ask this. Why didn't Ben Johnson go for 2 after the Rome touchdown? Same logic applies for the down 14 analytics. No, are Ben and Greg smart? Maybe.
One of your worst super chats ever, because if you don't get it, then you have to score a touchdown. You wouldn't, and there's a big difference between being down 4 and 3. Hello.
And to be honest, Bragg's like, you support everything that Ben Johnson does. Like, he can do no wrong.
Yeah.
So the question, are Ben and Greg smart? Like, you love Ben. You love what Ben does. You love Ben's calls. All right? Here's your answer.
Yeah, don't lean away from Ben.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and the trusty computer science major from North Carolina over Bragg's math.
Yeah. Let's go.
Braggalytics?
Braggalytics is amazing, but we'll go with Ben Delicious. There we go. Garden Hoser. $5.
You on that? You must be on that Mesopotamia right now.
Benny.
The look he just gave you when he said that.
Well, I can't even repeat that. Let's go.
Benelicious. Benelicious.
You were.
Where's my guy Cordy? He would enjoy that one too. Hey, Garden Hoser, we love you. $5. We are better than L's. No matter how they look, we got to sharpen up.
W's are better than L's.
Oh, W's. Whoops. I'm so sorry, Garden Hoser. W's are better than L's. There you go.
House and Boozer.
Yeah. No matter how they look, but we got to sharpen up this tough road ahead. Carm, you never fail to confuse me with your ways. Garden Hoser, I just confused myself. You're right, Garden Hoser, though. It's an accurate statement. W's are better than L's. They're winning, man.
Right. Mm-hmm. Those dubs, man.
And Back in Point says $5. Lance, still the best part of every show and my favorite
thanks,
bear.
Back in Point. Thank you.
Good take, Back in Point. Although I was amazing today.
Up, man.
I thought you had your
Euthanasia.
best show of the 3 so far.
Well, yeah, we want the song because I don't think Lance has seen it. Well, this is in honor of Luther Burden, arguably the best catch,
Can't wait.
biggest catch of the day yesterday. And this was after he signed his deal, and I did not have any product in my hair, which is kind of horrifying, and it looks like I'm receding. But we'll play it anyway. Here we go.
Your hair or you?
Think back to the summertime. On the balcony, Luther.
I always knew the Bears would sign Burden. His hands are sweet, his legs are churning. All I want is for Burden to be healthy. He's the Bears, Luther Burden. Drafted 39th, feelings were hurting. All I want is for Burden to be healthy. 'Cause he's fast enough, he's rough enough, he's shaky enough. Post was not too blind to see. now the bear has burden. Signed, sealed, delivered. Caleb a grinning. We have found wide receiver 3. Woo! Congrats, Bears. Congrats, Burden.
See, now, look at it goes full circle, though, too. Wide receiver 3. That's what we're talking about today, and there it is. All brought to you beautifully by At the Carm.
Listen, we got to do better.
What grade does that get?
What grade does that?
F minus.
Yeah, that was definitely. I'll give you an F plus.
I'll
definitely give you an F plus.
Behind the scenes look of what was going on.
Guitar.
That's why. Yeah. And what song was that?
So that was the Instagram Beast of Burden instrumental that I put in there as a background, which really messed me up actually.
I think that's probably why the grade was as low as it was, because
if it was just my voice, it could have been an A.
Because then it wasn't off. Like I just didn't feel like the delivery matched the guitar.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. No, it was bad editing by me. It was bad editing.
Right.
But
you're right. It wasn't the singing. It was the producers behind the scene.
No, but I edited
it was the audio mixer.
It was. I mixed the audio. It's on me. I didn't lean on the incredible talented support that we have.
This was Lance watching that.
I mean, I believe
not look thrilled at all.
Yuck.
I believe the words were, "This is torture."
It got torturous at some point during that.
But elite torture. It's elite.
Torture's torture.
All right. You're back on Thursday.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick.
With Jerry Azuma and the amazing Lance Briggs.
And Braggs.
Jeez. Okay, that was bad. You're really bad.
Joe, one more from Joe here, $2. Thanks, y'all. You guys help distract me for sure. Keep fighting there, Joe. Keep getting stronger.
Yes, sir.
Hoge, you're back tomorrow, buddy.
I am. We have a special guest on tomorrow's show.
Are we gonna say who it is?
We have a player who plays for the Bears currently.
Ooh.
Bears player coming on tomorrow.
Nice.
Joining the show tomorrow.
All right.
Should be interesting.
That's your teaser right there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right at the start of the show? When do you think that will air?
I believe it'll be to lead off the show.
To lead off the show. So don't be late tomorrow, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
By the way, hit the like button, subscribe. The Bears could, do something at any moment, and then we'd be breaking in, and you wouldn't know if you don't have notifications on. And then pre and post on Sundays. Where else would you rather be? Tell a friend. CHGO Sports. $2 from Braggs in the Stands. The song sucked. You sucked. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go shovel your snow, Greg.
Quit whining over there in the region for somebody to come shovel your snow. Get out there with that pathetic knee of yours and give it a good go.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Don't forget Bears After Dark tonight, our third show, covering another Victory Monday across the board. We got a lot coming up here on CHGO all day, including Bulls tonight. Got Hawks coming up. I think the Cubs are going right now, right? We got as always, covered across the board here on CHGO. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Bears 6-3.
We all silly like the mayor.